All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever spotted a gray hair and just kind of sighed, thinking you're stuck with the hand your genes dealt you? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the science of premature graying and look at some natural ways you might be able to turn things around. This is the big question, isn't it? So many of us just assume that if our parents went gray early, then that's our fate too. And look, while age and your genes for sure play a part, the story is so much bigger than that. You actually have way more influence than you might think. And that's where this amazing concept comes into play: epigenetics. This is basically the science of how your choices, your lifestyle, your environment can literally tell your genes what to do. Think of it like this: your genes are the instruction manual, but epigenetics lets you highlight certain sentences and ignore others. So let's break down what this actually means for our hair, right? We're stepping away from this old idea that our DNA is destiny and walking into a world where our daily choices can make a real, visible difference. Let's be super clear on this. On one side, you have genetics. That's your blueprint. It's the hardware you were born with. But then you have epigenetics. This is the software. It's your power to influence which parts of that blueprint get read and which ones don't, all through things like what you eat and how you live. This is where the game changes. Okay, so to get a handle on how to fight premature graying, we first have to understand the two main reasons it's happening. And the first one is what I call the missing pigment problem. It all boils down to something called melanin. This is the natural pigment that gives your hair its color, whether it's brown, black, red, or blonde. But for your body to even make melanin, it needs a very special enzyme to get the factory going. That enzyme is called tyrosinase. No tyrosinase, no color. It's pretty much that simple. But here's the catch. That tyrosinase enzyme can't do its job alone. It needs a critical partner, a co-pilot, if you will, and that partner is the trace mineral copper. If you don't have enough copper, that whole pigment-making factory just shuts down. So why would you be low in copper? Well, this slide shows one of the biggest culprits, and it's a real domino effect. You get stressed out, which causes your body to pump out the stress hormone cortisol. And cortisol is basically a copper thief. It gobbles up your body's copper supply. Once the copper's gone, pigment production just grinds to a halt. But wait, that's only half the story. Even if you have plenty of pigment, there's another force at work. This is the second major factor, and it's something that happens from the inside out, the internal bleach effect. You heard that right. As we get older, our bodies naturally produce and accumulate a bit of hydrogen peroxide inside the hair shaft itself. And yup, this is the same stuff people use to bleach their hair in a salon. It's literally bleaching your hair from the inside, stripping the color away. So how does your body fight back against this internal bleach job? Well, it has its own built-in superhero enzyme. It's called catalase, and its one and only mission is to hunt down hydrogen peroxide and neutralize it, breaking it down into harmless water and oxygen. Problem solved. And get this, catalase is an absolute powerhouse. A single molecule of catalase can zap 1 million molecules of hydrogen peroxide in less than a second. I mean, that is just mind-blowingly efficient. It's one of the hardest working little enzymes in your body. So let's just recap real quick. We're essentially fighting a war on two fronts here. We've got the pigment problem, where a lack of copper shuts down our color-making machinery, and we've got the bleaching problem, where we need our superhero enzyme, catalase, to clean up the hydrogen peroxide. All right, enough about the problems. You get it. Now for the good part, the part you've been waiting for. Let's talk about the action plan. What can you actually do to support your body on both of these fronts? It all starts with your food, of course. To get more copper, you want to look at things like seafood. Oysters are fantastic. Mushrooms, and grass-fed beef liver. And for all you vegans out there, spirulina is a great source. Then, to boost catalase, notice that grass-fed beef liver shows up again, but also cruciferous veggies like broccoli, and especially sprouts, microgreens, and arugula. Now you might be thinking, why don't I just go pop a copper supplement? And it's a bit more complicated than that. Your body needs minerals in the right balance. As the source material points out, you need about a 1-to-10 ratio of copper to zinc. Taking too much of one can throw the other off, which is why getting it from whole foods is usually the smarter way to go. But as you probably know, it's never just about the food, is it? To really support these processes, we have to look at the bigger picture. Our overall lifestyle and diet habits play a huge role. First things first, remember that stress domino effect? You have to actively manage your stress to stop cortisol from stealing your copper. it's also so important to cut out the junk, the processed foods, sugars, and refined carbs. The source material also mentions that a higher fat, nutrient-dense diet like a healthy keto diet can actually help increase catalase. And a quick pro tip, don't overcook your veggies like broccoli because that can destroy some of those helpful compounds. And this is where things get really interesting. Supporting catalase isn't just about your hair color. It's a crazy powerful antioxidant that protects the little power plants in all of our cells, our mitochondria. There was even a study in mice that found when they stimulated the gene for catalase, the mice lived significantly longer. This goes so far beyond just your hair. And that really brings us to the final big idea here. Taking steps to address the root causes of premature graying, well, it's not just cosmetic. You're actually supporting your health on a deep cellular level. So it leaves you with this really powerful question. If you can influence the aging of your hair, what else can you influence?